Here we go, everyone. Lights are off and we are on to race 2. A full reverse grid, and we have someone actually leaving from the pit lane. So this is gonna be absolute mayhem here. Timo currently in the lead on race 2nd, and a huge pack of cars there. One of them even goes off track on the inside there. And Andre is already in danger there, but he heads on to it. Anthony in 3rd place, Wout in 4th for the time being, and oh! Nose to tail to nose. Both options are applying here. What is being shoved off there, and oh, that bites back a bit. There was a bit of a contact between Jeff Ecott and Walt Graves, and now Walt is making contact with other cars, and I don't think that car is 100% fully functioning now with how much contact was made. But Patrick Diaz, who started and raced well so far, is now down into last place. Then again, 20 minutes of racing. And Wout is off! Wout is off into the wall. Well, the wall missed the wall. Sorry, couldn't pass it. So now we had a few contacts here and there, a few crashes here and there, and thankfully, most of us survived lap 1. Timo is still in the lead, Andre is 2nd, and Tobias is already up into 3rd place. Jeff tries the inside there, which will turn into an outside, unless if he can profit from that, but looks like he's going to stick on the outside. There's a bit of dust kicked off. And oh, what happened there? There was a car completely parking on the middle of the circuit. That's Andre, and he now goes into the pits. Wout says, "Thank you guys, I'm gonna gain a few places from that." And that was out of nowhere. I don't think anyone would be ready to react to that. Let's listen on the radio a bit.
Put the time limit on the start.
you were there out of nowhere.
I think I was right on your back corner, so I think you probably would have been alright.
Yeah, but let's not like tempt fate again.
Alright, so a bit of a banter between the other drivers, but it's not fully relatable to the crash there. Hi Craig, you're just in time to join in for the 2nd race. Crazy racing so far in the 2nd race, which is a reverse grid. Tobias won the 1st race with a huge amount of lead, and now he's already going there for the move to gain the 1st place there. This is the end of 2nd lap, and they are very close there into the final chicane, and out of it Tobias comes out in 1st place, Timo 2nd. Only 1/10 between the two of them, or somewhere around that. Alright, now it moved up a bit. Alright, back here is another one for P8. Or P9. I'm a bit curious now about if these two cars are in there to be fixed or not. Because we have two cars that are probably either retiring or, if not, extremely damaged. Andre lost the front bumper. He might be able to still get back into the race, but he will be multiple laps down. So far as timing goes, all 14 cars are still on the timing, but they will be very, very far down in the order. This is a 4-car pack here, and Anthony is just survives that. And who was that? We have one car there. Oh, that's Timo! That's Timo, who was P2. So unsure what happened there, but Timo, who was in second place, ended up off track and lost a bunch of places. Now he's down to P10. Let's follow Jasper here a bit. He's in 6th place, and now he has Nick behind him. Good 3/10. And ahead of them, it's a side-by-side between Scott and Julian, if I read it correctly. And Julian moves up to 3rd place. We also have Patrick here, who wants to get past Ward, and we also have Timo now, who's desperately trying to gain places back. Both of these cars are close to each other, and I'm switching to the wrong car. Sorry about that. So Ward and Patrick go side by side, question mark, how to judge it from this angle. Ooh, what? Oh. Okay, he did give room, but he did not make it easy. And we have Ward getting a slowdown penalty for track limit abuse. So he has about 45 seconds for the first warning to serve the slowdown penalty. So if you serve it on the straight, that means, yeah, he's gonna need to let that car by. And he still has that slowdown penalty. In the meanwhile, let's check on Nick, who's still trying to muscle through Jasper. And right in front of them we have Julian, who's trying to overtake Anthony, and behind him is Scott Warner. So we have a 3-car group here, and Scott almost loses the car. So we also have Peter, Jasper and Nick there as another trio. And a bit further back here we have Timo, who's trying to overtake Kaz. But there's action on all of the sectors of this track. But unfortunately Timo is going to lose a lot of time. That's not the angle you want for that corner. Jasper is getting closer to Peter. All of these cars here. This middle pack here, the average gaps between cars are fluctuating between 2/10 and 1 second. And that all depends on either they are in a corner or on a straight. Just been looking for the opportunity there. Outside, will he try a switch? Nope, he sticks on the outside. And they go side by side through the straight, heading into turn 1. And can Jasper secure this position here? From the looks of it, yes, he can. Peter bails out of it and says, okay, go ahead. In the meantime, Anthony is in trouble as Julian moves up into 2nd place. But can Anthony fight back? He has a look on the inside, cannot do much with it. Good racing. Reverse grids, always action-packed. Sometimes for a good reason, sometimes for a bad reason, sometimes mixed reasons, but when you're a viewer, it doesn't matter much. It's still, it's still enjoyment, and we certainly see this as now Nick tries the outside on Jasper. Sorry, Peter. Question in the chat. Ooh, bit of contact there between Peter and Nick. Is everyone in the pro cars? Yes, everyone is in the pro cars. And we have one car off. That is Jasper. He just gets back on track. And that will help Nick. He moves up to P5. But yeah, to answer the question in chat, yes, everyone is driving the pro car and I was not ready to stream. Because I wasn't sure if I could even join the server or not. But apparently I was able to. I don't own the car, I don't own the circuit. Go figures. Thankfully I can still spectate it. Alright, so we have a 4-car group here, led by Nick, and then Jasper, Anthony, and Peter. We had pretty much one person registering with the touring cars, so it makes sense that everyone switched out for the M1 Pro cars. But Jasper goes off track there, and so does Anthony behind. The 2 red cars, they might have the same livery, but I doubt they feel like teammates. Meantime, Julian has to hold up Scott behind. And also looks for an opportunity to send it up on Anthony, but cannot get it done. Gets a little bit of push there from what I've seen from Scott. So this 3-way fight here is tasty. I like it. And there we go. Scott tries a look. Cannot get it done. Julian moves to the inside. Scott tries the outside. Will it work? Base out of it. Can I put it side by side? Probably a good call. It would just slow. Probably a good call. It would just otherwise slow the 2 of them down, and they could not get the opportunity on Anthony. But saying that, Julian has a bit of wiggle there, getting into the corner. A long hairpin, and now comes the uphill. Going through the final chicane, and not final chicane. Final chicane is coming up right now, but before that Anthony made a mistake, and that will help Julian. They go side by side through the entry. Bit of wiggle there from Julian. And will he be pushed off? Nope. They go side by side through the start-finish straight. From the looks of it, and Julian cannot get the move on the inside there. Now comes Scott behind. I'm looking at the timings now, and we have like 4 situations where the gaps are down to red. We have a side-by-side here. Jasper moves up, and we have this fight here for 2nd place, and Scott loses it into the gravel, almost into the wall, and he's gonna just enter in a way that he gets behind Nick. This will help Julian, but not help Anthony. If the one thing that was good about having a 3-way fight here is that Anthony didn't have to fully worry about a car overtaking him, because the car behind him was also have to worry about a car overtaking him. But now it's a traditional fight here. And Anthony makes a mistake and he's into the wall. Where will he enter back? Ooh, he loses it again. I have a feeling that's suspension damage. And that might be his race. Yes, he retires.
Oh, I was having fun there.
Yeah. Well, that was a quick way to explain it. Hi there, Andy. You're just in time for the action here. We have this group here. A three-way fight for third place. The leader is Tobias, who has about 17 seconds of lead over Julian, who has 3 seconds of lead over Jasper, and Jasper, Nick, Scott, and Anthony, even Peter to an extent, are all fighting each here. This second race with the reverse grade was probably the best kit that had every single goodies in it. So let's compare the gaps here. Oh, car behind spawn, that's Peter. Unlucky for him. And I think Jasper had a wiggle there as well. Is the red car up here? Behind him is Nick. Alright, 6 tenths between Jasper and Nick. And we have Scott Warner and Anthony behind them. So it's a 4-way fight here, and woohoo! He just heads onto it. Nick just head onto it. I think they are catching up to a left car, as I believe Scott goes off track there. He's only gonna lose 1 place from this. That said, it might be enough to break up this 4-car pack here into a 2x2 pack. Because while yes, Anthony gained a place from that, he also lost an opportunity to stay in the slipstream of others. So this might create 2 separate battles. But speaking of, Jasper might be able to catch Julian at this rate. The gaps are now down to 2.6 seconds. A while ago it was more than 3 seconds. What track it is? It's Brno. It's, if I know it right or not, probably not. It's a Czech racetrack, mostly used these days for motor racing. It's, if you follow any other like bigger content creators, like sim racing content creators, it's Jardier's home circuit pretty much. You know, the big guy with the beard, with the white dog. The one person that people compare me to for some reason. So, yeah. Alright, let's see if Scott can gain a place here on Anthony. I disagree with that. I think it's a cool circuit to race at. But speaking of, this is the final lap, and I didn't even realize it. Tobias won it. Congrats. So, second place is Julian. Add on to it nicely, and then comes Jasper, Nick, Anthony, and Scott. And Scott might have been able to get a place here, but he just couldn't. So Patrick did a great recovery job, and Peter and Timo almost said finish up the top 10, but no. Kaz is gonna be in the 10th place. Vought is the 3rd, sorry, not 3rd, 11th, and he gets another slowdown penalty that he needs to serve. And Andrew, 2 laps down, but he finishes the race. He was the car that made a front impact on the front straight, or rather the car that was T-boned on the front straight. So seeing him even finishing the race is nice to see. We only lost 2 cars in the entire race.